The Boston Tea Party. Sam Adams replied to the tea tax. But what of a dozen other trade restrictions? These too have gone before Paul Revere and William Dawes to ride throughout the countryside and arouse the people of all classes. And now, with the dawn, the redcoats are marching.
In the late 18th century, Massachusetts stood at a crossroads. It had led the charge in the American Revolution, sparked the fight for independence, and set the stage for the birth of a new nation. But when it came time to unify under a single constitution, doubts and divisions ran deep. The decision to join the Union wasn't an easy one. Debates raged in meeting halls and taverns across the state, pitting Federalists against Anti-Federalists in a battle that would ultimately shape the United States as we know it. Why did Massachusetts hesitate? And what finally convinced them to become the sixth state to ratify the U.S. Constitution on February 6, 1788? To understand, we need to go back to the events that led to this momentous decision. This is how Massachusetts became the sixth state to join the United States. Massachusetts was not just any colony, it was the cradle of the Revolution. Events like the Boston Massacre and the Boston Tea Party had solidified its role as a leader in the fight against British rule. But once independence was achieved, a new challenge emerged. How to build a functioning government that balanced power between the states and the federal level. Initially, the new United States operated under the Articles of Confederation, a system that gave states significant independence. But problems quickly arose: economic turmoil, weak national authority, and internal unrest, including the infamous Shays Rebellion in Massachusetts. Shays Rebellion exposed the deep cracks in the system. It was clear that change was needed, and Massachusetts found itself at the forefront of the debate over how much power the federal government should hold. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention proposed a bold new plan to replace the failing Articles of Confederation. The new Constitution aimed to create a stronger central government, but that idea wasn't universally accepted, especially in Massachusetts. Two factions emerged: the Federalists, who supported the new Constitution and its centralized government, and the Anti-Federalists, who feared it would strip states of their sovereignty and individual freedoms. Samuel Adams and John Hancock, two of Massachusetts' most influential leaders, had serious concerns. They worried about federal overreach, the lack of a Bill of Rights, and the potential return of authoritarian rule. Meanwhile, the Federalists, led by figures like John Adams, argued that a stronger federal government was essential for survival in a dangerous world. Massachusetts was deeply divided. Ratification was far from guaranteed. As the Massachusetts Ratifying Convention convened in early 1788, the debate intensified. Anti-Federalists pushed back hard, demanding stronger guarantees for individual liberties. In the end, it was a carefully crafted compromise that saved the day. Federalists offered a solution. Massachusetts would ratify the Constitution but recommend amendments to protect civil liberties, what would later become the Bill of Rights. This compromise allowed Massachusetts to ratify the Constitution on February 6, 1788, by a narrow vote of 187 to 168, paving the way for other skeptical states to follow suit. It was a historic moment, one that ensured the survival of the new government and solidified Massachusetts' role as a key player in the Union. Massachusetts' decision to join the Union had far-reaching consequences. Its insistence on amendments led directly to the Bill of Rights, safeguarding the freedoms Americans hold dear today. From education to politics, Massachusetts has remained at the forefront of shaping national policy, often acting as a testing ground for progressive ideas and reforms. Its legacy as a leader in governance and policy continues to influence the nation to this day. Massachusetts' choice to ratify the Constitution wasn't just about joining a new country. It was about defining what kind of country the United States would become. What if Massachusetts had rejected the Constitution? Would the United States have fallen apart? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Today, a great seafaring people can look ahead only to empty wharves and ships rotting at anchor. The distance from Boston to Williamsburg must now be measured not only by the hazards of miles, but by the hazards of a common threat against our mutual welfare. It is to this purpose that we join in a covenant pledged today, a covenant to work together in God's name with all friends of liberty against injustice and tyranny. Let us pray.